Recent number 2, damn it. That's who. Fucking deal.
Yeah. Get high rapper. The man hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the man hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws. Yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down? It's going down. I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back. I can double up. I got sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules, but know that it be fair and foul. Rep blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the lines. It's the man hour though, now we going live.
And what is up, guys? Michael Buckhouse here with my man, Michael Blah, here on the Mike and Mike Man Hour. Before we get too far carried away into the show, guys, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Mike and Mike Man Hour Facebook page and YouTube page as well. We are also giving away a $100 Amazon gift card once we hit that 500 like mark. All you gotta do is like our Facebook page, share this live feed a couple times if you like, and join one of our attached talk groups. But as always, I got my man over here, Mike LeBlanc. Mike, what is up, brother?
What's going on, my man?
Oh,
What is going on?
Man, it is one of those beautiful days where, when shit hits the fan, you just like watch it go. You're like, oh, that's cool. And then you realize you're covered in shit and you got to clean up all the mess.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of just happened to me today, like at work. And, I just saw stuff that was happening. And, long story short, people fucked up. Like, that's basically what it comes down to. People messed up. And I tried to clean the shit up the best I could. I had enough. I went to my boss. I'm like, hey, what's up with this? And I just saw shit start piling up. I'm like, well, this is going to be a great show. And then I sent you a message. I'm like, hey, look what just look what just happened.
You
bro.
You didn't just send me a message. What the fuck is this shit show I walked into this morning?
Oh man, it was absolutely horrible. And then shit finally got so piled up that like on our team we have 50 to 60 people if you count like the VPs and CIOs and stuff. Half of them quit. So August 1st is their last day. So like, was it like Friday is like their last days?
You messaged me. You're like, so I just got off of a video call with my boss. Told him I'm pretty much fucking out of here. Fuck this shit. And then like 5 minutes later, oh, he just told me we just got an email. It's his last day. And then all of a sudden, he sends me another message. Well, fuck, half the fucking company just fucking quit today.
Yeah, man, like, it was like just as long as our, like, as soon as our administrator quit, or like put in like his 2 hour, like, notice, right? And then, like, the VPs put in his, like notice, and then the CIO, and then, like, the whole upper management team's like, you know what? Fuck you guys. I was like, what?
Yes, I'm out.
Okay, so does that make me the CIO now? I mean, at a process of like elimination.
I guess so. Congratulations on the promotion.
Hey, what's up? But have you ever seen the cartoon, or I guess it's kind of like a sitcom cartoon, King of the Hill?
Yeah, dude, that's my shit.
Like when like Hank Hill and I don't know the like other guys' names, but they're like sitting on the side and like and they're drinking beer, sipping beer, and they're like, yep, yep. Mike, I had one of those King of the Hill moments today when I was working in my yard after football practice. So like I'm out mowing the grass and we're getting our house ready to like sell and stuff. So I'm gonna be like painting the barn and doing some like mulching and just make the yard look pretty and like I have like two older neighbors. I say they're like 60 and 65, and they walk over there and they're like, "Grass looks pretty good there, son." And I was like, "Yep." Sipping on my beer. Man, it was like I has been christened into the Sellersburg neighborhood there. I was like, man, I kind of feel bad I'm leaving y'all now, but yeah.
Bitches, I'm leaving. What's up, Jameson? Jameson is I want to give a shout out to Jameson.
Do it.
Jameson is a loyal fan. He is in here every single night. And
he almost shares it every night too. So Jameson, make sure you share it tonight too, man. Get those 10 more entries in.
I think Jameson wants that Amazon gift card.
Yeah, who doesn't? $100 Amazon gift card. I see my brother-in-law jumped in here. What's up, Jason? Hope you had a good day. And I see Sony that hopped in here too. What's up, Sony? Mike Reeves as well. He said, I feel like we're stuck in elevator music. I mean, that's the whole aspect, is to get you excited to when the intro music drops. Oof. Man, that intro song is fire, isn't it?
It is. That intro song is fire. It is fire.
Wait till we drop the whole song. There's still a verse to come and a chorus and like a hook part. So just wait for it, guys. Watch for it on our Facebook page. But we got a pretty exciting show tonight here. The NFL has finally announced the last couple of their top 100 players. Well, I guess the NFL, but like the players in the NFL, the NFLPA, I guess you can say, has released the final touches of the NFL top 100. Lamar Jackson still wants Antonio Brown to come to Baltimore. Damian Williams opts out of the season. And Joe Kelly gets suspended for 8 games. Guys, we have a big show lined up for you, but we are going to take a quick little break. On the other side of the break,
the top 100. I cannot wait. By no Bucks over there saying, fuck you, Mike. Fuck you, Mike. I cannot wait until after the break.
Jameson says maybe we should have a 3-person show. Well, Jameson, you up your game, man. We might bring you on. But, guys, we're going to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back. Mike, you want rock or hip-hop?
Hit me with some rock.
I think that's rock. Yeah. Mike Man Hour here. Michael Buckheischer with my man, Mike LeBlanc. Like we said right before break, guys, we're still giving away that $100 Amazon gift card. All you have to do is like the Facebook page. That's all you got to do to get additional entries. Share it. Join one of our Cast Talk groups and just be active in our chat like Jameson is. Jameson is a top fan, but for some reason it's not coming up on my chat here. But he definitely is a top fan. Him, Steve, Deere, and I think Jamie hit top fan status last night too, Mike.
I think she did. Yes,
yeah,
I think she did.
So we do have 3 or 4 top fans. Pretty exciting stuff here. But as I alluded to before the break, Antonio Brown still doesn't have a home, Mike. And Lamar Jackson is making a statement for him, and I believe it was via Twitter. He's like, look, AB, come to Baltimore. I mean, do you think Antonio Brown, obviously they want him, that they want his talent. But the problem is, it's his off-the-field antics, all that BS. Can Lamar Jackson handle an Antonio Brown, honestly, in Baltimore?
I think he can. I think Jim Harbaugh can.
Jim Harbaugh can. So the problem with that, I see, is they were going to fire Jim Harbaugh when Joe Flacco was there. Like, after that Super Bowl run that they did, and then they had like a couple years of, was it below 500 or like right around 500? There were talks of, hey, we need to get Jim Harbaugh out. He is not our guy, right? And then all of a sudden, Lamar Jackson basically saved his job. Let's be totally 100% honest. Lamar Jackson saved his job. And if Harbaugh brings in a talent like Antonio Brown, it's either going to be really, really good or really, 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 really bad. Look what happened in like Oakland. Really, really bad. I don't think he even played a preseason game for Oakland, if I'm not mistaken.
No, because he being a damn crybaby about his helmet, and then there was something else I can't remember.
He froze his, so he got frostbite on his feet because he did the cryogenic.
The Cairo.
Yeah, whatever. Over in, like, I don't know, was it France or something like that? But he was in there for too long and froze his feet. So, and then he went to Patriots, and then the off the field antics caught up to him because he was having relations with the was it a trainer or massage therapist or something just like that. So the Ravens are so young that they don't need a cancer like Antonio Brown in the locker room.
I get that. I do. I get that.
So,
but I mean, he is a special talent.
Yeah, he when he is right in the head, he is probably the 3rd or 4th best receiver in the NFL.
And when he's right in his mind, man, I say he's 1 or 2.
I mean, he's definitely up there. So, but the problem is that we haven't seen it for 2 years.
I agree with Jameson.
What Jameson say? John Harbaugh should go coach at Michigan State.
He said AB would be awesome in Baltimore.
Oh.
I agree.
He would if he is pre Juju Smith-Schuster in Steelers AB. So that year when AB was getting like 10 catches a game and 100+ yards every freaking game, that AB was fine. But the minute you start, the problem I have with AB in Baltimore is he is going to be screaming at Lamar Jackson, say, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, I am open. Lamar Jackson is a type of player that has to have the ball in his hands. He wants to dictate where he is going to go. When you consistently have a veteran like Antonio Brown in your ear saying, hey, I am open, he is going to start to force the ball a little bit more. And those 50-50 balls that he throws, and last year they just happened to fall on the latter side of 50%, they're going to fall on the other side of 50%. He's going to get a lot more interceptions, forcing the ball down the field, and your MVP is going to not look like an MVP.
I don't know. I think we saw Lamar Jackson grow up last year and really mature. I don't think that would happen. I honestly don't.
You don't think AB would get in his ear saying he is?
I think Lamar Jackson as a leader would be like, bro, I'll get you the ball if you're open. Like, this is my team.
The problem that I have with that, so you are a CEO of your company, and like I do side work. So like you can say I'm the CEO of my company, just like as well. I've been doing mine for 3 months. You've been doing yours for 3 years. Yes, I might have a leadership thing and set in stone like what I want to do, but if I were to bring you on, I know that in the back of my head, you've been doing this for 3 years, so you are chirping in my ear saying to do this, this, and this because it has worked for you. Now, it may not work for me, but like I know you're chirping in my ear saying do this, do this, do this. At some point, I'm going to break down and probably do that thing, much like what AB is going to do to Lamar Jackson. Chirping in his ear, and at some point, AB is going to be like, you know what? Here's the ball. Interception. All of a sudden, the Ravens are a 3-game losing streak, losing to the Bengals, Steelers, and Browns.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that. I honestly don't think that would happen. I mean, Mark Ingram and Lamar Jackson are pretty much the leaders of that team. And I think, Mark Ingram now is a veteran in the league, right? Mark Ingram's been around for a little bit. And I think Lamar Jackson kind of leans on Mark Ingram for that veteran leadership. And, like I said, we saw Lamar Jackson grow up last year. So AB coming there, I don't think would be a cancer in the locker room. I mean, he wasn't a cancer in the locker room in New England. Tom Brady had him.
He was also only there for a week.
This is true.
Or was it 2 weeks? Like I can't remember how long he was there. But so in the chat, Jameson says, "A on point. AB and Baltimore will put them in the Super Bowl." Does AB put them in? No, because Lamar Jackson still hasn't proven he can win in January. And does AB have a Super Bowl ring with the Steelers? I don't think he does. Does he?
No.
So I mean, like, when it comes to playoff time, they're all in the same boat. They all don't have rings. So that leadership that was there during the regular season is all of a sudden out the window. So AB puts them in the Super Bowl? I don't think so. Does it put them in a better competition to Super Bowl? Yes, of course, because you have a talent like AB on the field with his head right. So I don't know about that. Any other thoughts about that?
No, I think it would be great, honestly. It'll elevate that team.
I think Dez Bryant finds a team before Antonio Brown does.
Ooh, interesting.
Dez Bryant to a team like Baltimore would make more sense. Yes, he doesn't have the playoff experience either, but he does have the humbling of getting cut by the Dallas Cowboys, being their number one receiver. He was cut and then picked up by the Saints, and he played maybe a quarter or two, tore his Achilles. So he's been out for 2.5 years, if I'm not mistaken. So he has that humbleness, but eagerness and hungriness to like play. Dez Bryant would fit any team better than Antonio Brown, I think.
Maybe.
All right, guys.
I don't think Dez Bryant fits any team better than Antonio Bryant. Or Antonio Brown, sorry.
So you're telling me that Dez Bryant on the Baltimore Ravens don't make them more dangerous than Antonio Brown and the Ravens? Yes.
Antonio Brown makes them more dangerous than just having Dez Bryant there.
I don't know, man. I like I said, I'm a firm believer that Antonio Brown needs to go to a system that has a veteran quarterback presence. That's why Seattle was such a big pick in my mind. I thought Antonio Brown to Seattle was a huge for them, nearly locking them in as a Super Bowl pick then with the addition of Jamal Adams. But in the end, I don't think Antonio Brown finds a team this season. There is too much off the field antics, and talent can only carry you for so long, right? So guys, what's that?
No, you're just spitting trash out of your mouth again.
I'm not spitting trash. I'm spitting facts, and the facts are that Lamar Jackson is not number one. But we're going to talk back to that on the other side of the break. We're going to take a quick little break here, guys, and then Mike is going to lead our discussion of the NFL Top 100. The final 2 players have finally come out. Mike is going to release that for us and let us know. But we'll be right back after a quick little musical interlude.
Buck's going to get butt hurt.
Whatever. Get out of here with that crap. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Mike Man Hour. Michael Buttkosher here with Mike LeBlanc. And as always, guys, we're giving away that $100 Amazon gift card. All you got to do is like our Facebook page. If you have missed any portion of the show whatsoever, we're on noon East Coast time here on the RTFSportsNetwork.com. You can also find us on iTunes, Spotify, and iHeartRadio as well if you would like to download the podcast form of this. You can also find us on YouTube as well if you are into YouTubes as well. Mike and Mike Man Hour on YouTube. But Mike, NFL 100 has officially come out. Top 100 players going into the 2020 season, voted by the players, for the players. Floor's all yours.
Yeah. You know who number 1 is, right?
Russell Wilson.
No, Lamar Jackson, number 1.
Shit.
And guess who's number 2?
Would have to be Russell Wilson.
Sir, that's 2 quarterbacks ahead of your Patty Mahomes, voted by the players. By the players. These are not pundits. These are not anything else. These are the players that play inside the lines with these guys every Sunday.
Yeah, these are also players that are friends with each other on social media too. So,
oh, I knew you were gonna have some damn excuse.
I mean,
why?
like, let's be honest. Like, if you were voted up for CEO of the year, and like Amazon CEO was up for CEO of the year, I'm going to vote for you because you're my boy.
Oh, well, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So people voted for Lamar Jackson because hey, he's their boy.
Because they're his boy. That's why.
Yeah.
They're his boy.
And they're simply jealous.
That's not his number 46 on the list because Dak Prescott's got some boys.
Yeah, I mean he has 51 of them for sure, right?
I don't know what those players were thinking voting Dak Prescott to the number 46.
So just looking at this list here, it has finally updated like on my side.
Carson Wentz is not even on the list.
Carson Wentz doesn't deserve to be on that list.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me.
I mean, if we were talking to Brandon Coombs, he thinks Jameis Winston is a top 10 quarterback. So, I mean, that would automatically knock Carson Wentz out of the top 100. But looking at the top 100 list here, we have number 1, Lamar Jackson. Number 2, Russell Wilson. Number 3, Aaron Donald. This kind of is a head-scratcher to me. I don't watch the Rams that much, but, yes, I know Aaron Donald is a game-changer type of player, but I thought last year he had a pretty down year from the previous year. I could be wrong because, like I said, I don't watch the Rams that closely, and especially I don't watch defensive linemen all that much either. So, but number 3 is Aaron Donald. Number 4 is the $500 million man himself, Patrick Mahomes, and part owner of Sporting KC and the Royals now. Number 5 is Michael Thomas. 6, Christian McCaffrey. 7, George Kittle. What? Number 9, DeAndre Hopkins. Sorry, number 8, DeAndre Hopkins. Number 9, Stephen Gilmore. And number 10, Derrick Henry. Out of those top 10 players, who doesn't deserve to be there?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah. That's an easy one.
Derrick Henry, Stephon Gilmore. I don't think deserves to be in the top 10.
Once again, I don't want the Patriots all that much to make that judgment, so it kind of sucks.
That's the only 2 that really stick out to me. Michael Thomas.
Yeah, man, he's a top receiver.
He's a top receiver, top 10 player in the league.
He's a top 10 player, paid player in the league, right?
I don't know if he deserves to be in the top 10 above. Damn, my mind just went blank. Mike Evans. I don't think he's a better receiver than Mike Evans.
Yeah, they have Mike Evans down like 30 something, if I'm not mistaken. Let me scroll down here. Mike Evans. They have Mike Evans is number 30. So Richard Sherman and Jamal Adams are both ranked higher than him, and T.J. Watt. So the number 7 pick of George Kittle, Jameson's George Kittle, they're tied in for the San Francisco 49ers. He is not even the best tight end in the NFL. First of all, Travis Kelce is a better tight end than like he is, and they have Travis Kelce down at number 18. And then I think Gronk is probably a better tight end than Kittle as well. And I'm not for sure if Gronk is like on this list because he was retired last year, so I'm not for sure how they vote that type high thing. Is it based off of 2019 season going into 2020? But I don't see Gronk's name on the list whatsoever. And then I don't like Michael Thomas being so high. Yes, he is a great talent, but I still think he is the 3rd or 4th best receiver in the NFL. George Kittle is not a beast. The only thing he has going for him is his long hair, and he uses that, the commercial when they're like, yes, 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 L'Oreal or whatever that is. So, yeah. So I do like DeAndre Hopkins up there. Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Donald, Patrick Mahomes all deserve to be up there. At number 5, I would probably put DeAndre Hopkins, then Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce.
You know what bothers me? You know what really, really bothers me? You know what grinds my gears?
What grinds those gears?
They have Zeke at, I think, like number 24. Yeah. They have Zeke at number 24. And they have Derrick Henry in the top 10.
So, guys, let me tell you about Derrick Henry. He had a great second half of the season. He had a great, 4 games in the playoffs or 3 games in the playoffs. Awesome. What did he do the previous 7 weeks of the season? I'll give you a stat. I believe it was week 4 or week 5 versus the Denver Broncos. He rushed for 16 times for 28 yards versus the Denver Broncos. Mike, how many games did Denver Broncos win last year? 6? 5, 6?
Yeah, 5 or 6.
They were not very good. So Derrick Henry's first 7 games of the season, complete trash, much like Lamar Jackson's postseason, complete trash. So how can you put a guy that had a great second half of the season, a top 10 player going into 2020? Like, is this top 100 projections of like, hey, he would have a top 7 2020 season? I mean, like, I don't really know the ins and outs of his top 100s, but I mean, even then, I don't think he will finish in the top 8 in rushing this season. Yes, they have that quote formula of like how to win games in Tennessee, but you put 8 guys in the box and force Ryan Tannehill to throw the ball. Ryan Tannehill will throw more interceptions than completions, and Derrick Henry's going to rush for 28 yards again in like a game. Definitely not a number 7 receiver.
He's not.
I'm sorry, a running back or top player.
He's not better than Mark Ingram, Saquon Barkley. There's a lot of running backs that they kind of snub, in my opinion.
Yeah. Really, the running back position as a whole kind of got snubbed because I think they only have 3 in the top 100, if I'm not mistaken. Saquon Barkley's number 31. Here you go. Nick Chubb is 36. So and got Aaron Jones. So really, all your running backs around 30 to 40. Alvin Kamara 42. Mark Ingram 44. Man, I don't know, man.
Oh.
I guess this is fantasy, maybe. Shit.
This list kind of bothers me a little bit. I do agree with the top 3. All right, let's go with the top 4. I do agree with the top 4. Number 1 being Lamar Jackson, number 2 being Russell Wilson, 3 Well, no, I don't even agree with Aaron Donald being the third. I don't agree with that. I would put number one. And if this was me, it would be number one Russell Wilson, number two Lamar Jackson, number three Patty Mahomes, number four number four I would probably put Christian McCaffrey at number four.
Yeah, he had a great 2019 season.
And Mike Evans at number five. I think Mike Evans, I would replace Michael Thomas with Mike Evans.
So you're telling me that Mike Evans is the best receiver in the NFL?
Right now?
Yeah.
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 And especially with Tom Brady throwing him the ball,
yeah.
he's going to have a pretty good season. So just to add some context to that Aaron Donald statement, in 2018 he had 59 tackles with 20.5 sacks. Last season he only had 12.5 sacks. So definitely a very, very down season as far as sacks wise goes. And tackles he only had 45. So like I said, they are kind of voting in like the goody good boy club there. Like hey, what's up, pal? You know what? I like you. You know you're getting paid $100 million. Well, why not slide you up there in that top five, right?
I don't think. This list, there's a lot of things about this list that rub me the wrong way. I don't even think Dak should be at 46.
How about this? Chandler Jones, number 15.
Who the hell is Chandler Jones?
He's a linebacker for Arizona Cardinals.
Exactly.
I mean, so like I think the problem that we're seeing like right now is like when we say top players in the NFL, my mind almost instantly goes to quarterback. Like who is the best quarterbacks, right? And then you go to probably wide receivers, like the second best position, like on the field.
No, not mine. Like best player on the field. Best player on the field. My mind immediately goes to running back, and I don't care what anybody says. In my opinion, it's Zeke.
Yeah, and then my mind goes directly to quarterback, but then it goes to linebacker, and I think Bobby Wagner for the Seattle Seahawks is probably the best linebacker on the field right now, and I think they have him down number 13. So being the best linebacker, I mean, I feel that's kind of warrant of a top 10, but I don't know. I mean, Chandler Jones is one of the pass rushers in the league. He is not one of the best pass rushers in the league. Isn't Khalil Mack the best pass rusher, and then Aaron Donald, and then J.J. Watt? They have J.J. Watt on this list. I don't even think J.J. Watt should be on the list. Last season, he really didn't do anything. Where do they have J.J. Watt?
On the list? What name a game? I watched a lot of Houston games, right? Because I'm in Texas,
right?
So, we get those games. I don't think J.J. Watt really even did anything to even deserve.
I can tell you this: one game last season, I think it was his first game back. So it was like game 3 or game 4, and he played about 25 snaps, and he was in every play on those 25 snaps. Like I believe it was a mobile quarterback. I'm trying to think of who they played, but it was a mobile quarterback. The guy was on the right hash, scrambled all the way to the left hash. J.J. Watt was on the far right of the far right side, chased him down. So ran about 40, 50 yards and made a sack. And then, of course, he was gassed, so he sat out for 3 or 4 plays. Come back in the very next play and had a tackle for a loss. I mean, that game that he was in there, he was very, very dominant. But he is injury prone.
The best players who are dominant game in, game out, week in, week out.
Every time he is in there, he is dominant.
Yeah, but how he's never hardly just like Jameson said, he's fucking injury prone, so he's hardly ever in there. He may come for 2 or 3 games and then boom, he's hurt for 2 or 3 games.
Right.
He comes back for a game or two and then he's hurt again. Like I'm super disappointed in this list because I thought this was supposed to be like the best of the best.
Well, the best of the best.
JJ Watt is not a top 100 player. If he does not get hurt and he can play a full season,
right?
Of course, JJ Watt is a dominant force.
Correct.
But he cannot, and he's proved it the past 3 seasons, that he cannot play a full season.
So, do you think the players are voting by what they see on the field, not by the number of games or whatever, kind of like a highlight tape?
Yeah, I think so, man.
And that's exactly how I think Jadeveon Clowney made the list. He is number 41. He is still looking for a team, and he is a top NFL 100 player at number 41.
So how can a top 100 player still look for a team?
I mean, I saw some very half-assed effort from him from Seahawk land last year, and Dylan Moran is a huge Seahawk fans, and he can contest that. He hates Jadeveon Clowney. He was glad to see him gone. Also, Todd Gurley, number 51. Did he even have a successful season last year?
I think so, man.
Marcus Peters? Come on. You know what Marcus Peters is known for? Playing for the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Jets. They threw a pass interference flag on him. He took the flag and threw it in the stands. That's what he is known for.
They have Jimmy G at number 43.
Trash. How many 49ers players they got on there?
Alvin Kamara at number 42. So you're telling me that Derrick Henry was a better running back than Alvin Kamara all season long last year? Derrick Henry was good for 8 games. Alvin Kamara produced all season long.
Yeah, he did.
The only reason why I can think he's in the top 10 because he had the most yards rushing. That's it.
Yeah, well, he had like 1,500 yards. So yeah, definitely. So let's go ahead and move on here. Let's go ahead and talk some NFL stuff here.
The top 100 list is fucking trash.
And you were all excited because Lamar Jackson was number 1, and
I agree with that.
But
I agree with that. But the
you
rest
cannot call his list trash and then agree with it with the number 1 pick. It doesn't work like that.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't.
It works like that because you know what? That's Mike's mind, bitch. Boom.
So let's go ahead and move on to some more players opting out of the 2020 season. Next big name, you can say Damian Williams, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, opts out for the 2020 season. Running the Kansas City. He was a Super Bowl hero. You could say that. I believe he scored the go-ahead touchdown against the Henry is a monster. You are crazy, says Robert LeBlanc.
Oh, my little brothers. No, Robert, calm down. Derrick Henry is not a monster.
Derrick Henry is a monster for 8 weeks, right?
He's been good for 1 season. He's a journeyman running back. Let's be honest. How many teams has Derrick Henry been on? If he is such a good running back.
I think he's been on the Titans.
Derrick Henry?
Yeah,
no, Derrick Henry's been with like 3 or 4 teams.
Isn't he like, this is only like his 4th or 5th year in the league, isn't it?
No.
Because I thought I was looking at his stats, and he was averaging right around 1,000 yards a season for the last 4 seasons with the Tennessee Titans. And I thought, he's not that old.
Let's see. I know he was on the Patriots. He hasn't been.
This is his 5th year.
I'm thinking about somebody else. My bad. But I mean,
You were probably thinking about LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah. 2016, he had 490 yards. 17, 744. 2018, he had 1,000 yards. This year, he had 1,540 yards. I'm telling you right now, this man is not better than fucking Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey. He's not better than Nick Chubb. No, man. No.
Yeah, and then Robert over here on the YouTube page says Derrick Henry has only been with the Titans, so how do you even know what you're talking about?
No,
So.
I'm of LeGarrette Blunt.
So,
My bad. But
this
Derrick
is live, raw, and uncut, so deal with it.
No.
Wrong. Derrick Henry has only played with the Titans. Yes, I told you that, Jameson. But we do have a little delay, I guess. But moving on, like I said, guys, Damian Williams has opted out for the 2020 season for the COVID-19. He will get the $150,000 base pay. Kansas City Chiefs had a stable of running backs. I believe they had 4 on the roster. They had Williams, and then some other guy. I cannot think of his name right now off the top of my head. But they did draft Clyde Edwards as well. So I'm thinking that Damian Williams was probably not going to get a whole lot of playing time this season, and he knew that. So why not save his body?
I don't know. I mean, he showed his ass in the Super Bowl
for one game, just like Derrick Henry did for 8 games.
Hey, but you know what? That was the game. He scored the go-ahead touchdown, and then he scored the last touchdown to really seal the victory. So 2 important touchdowns in that game for the Chiefs to win.
So I see what you're saying here, but on the flip side of the coin, Damian Williams was kind of like a loose cannon almost. There were times when he would premature celebrate going into the end zone and get some personal fouls and whatnot and flags. So my phone is blowing up right now.
Uh-oh.
They are they're talking crap about you by not knowing that Derrick Henry only played for the Titans, man.
Oh, I know.
Hit me up on the old Twitter machines.
I always do that with LeGarrette Blunt and Derrick Henry. Always.
Yeah. Just think about LeGarrette Blunt was the puncher.
Yeah.
And Derrick Henry is getting punched. But like I said, Damian Williams was kind of a loose cannon, and I don't think Andy Reid really liked him that much, to be honest. So I believe Damian Williams is heading into his 3rd or 4th year, so he could definitely find it. The Chiefs have 6 running backs on the team, not counting him. So 7 counting him. So they have a stable of running backs. They'll be perfectly fine. Not too worried about that. Moving on over to the baseball side of things, we were talking about the Houston Astros cheating scandal back in 2017. The Dodgers and Astros played the other night. Joe Kelly, the closer for the LA Dodgers, struck out, I believe it was Carrera, struck him out and kind of did a little, I struck you out like you little bitch, right? And cleared the benches type of thing. And then Joe Kelly ultimately hit a batter the next inning on purpose. So he gets an 8-game suspension. Is this setting precedents that you cannot go after the Houston Astros hitters moving forward?
Ooh, it might be, man. I mean, they say the 8-game suspension in this 60-something game season is the equivalent to a normal season of a 21-game suspension, which
is a long time.
That's a lot of games.
Yeah.
I've never heard someone being suspended for 21 games. I mean, I'm sure there may have been, but
most of them are for steroid use that have been over that.
Yeah. But man, 6 games? I mean, I don't know, bro. It does kind of it does put a damper on things, right?
Yeah, it definitely makes the policing of baseball not being able to police itself like it did in the older times. I don't know. I mean, I personally like when somebody hits a home run and they bat flip it, right? And then the pitcher gets butthurt about it and they hit the next guy up. I mean, that's just the way it has always been. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. So some breaking news coming into the station here tonight, Mike.
That's just the way it.
Are you ready for this? The ACC sets a 11-game fall football schedule to include Notre Dame. the season will start this weekend of September 12th. So this is I believe this is the first schedule to come out, in this post-COVID type of time frame here. And they sent me like this big old sheet here, and it looks like the first set of games is going to be like Boston College versus Georgia Tech, Clemson versus Miami. So it looked like they're all conference games, including Notre Dame. Does this make you excited that we might have some college football happening?
It does. It really does. I know the Big 12 is supposed to be voting by Friday. I believe the SEC too.
I believe the SEC and Pac-12 or Big 10 have already voted for all conference games as games as well, but they haven't released a schedule yet. So
they haven't released a schedule. I think they're waiting for the Big 12.
Is it to work West Virginia into maybe one of like the SEC or something, maybe like just like that? Because like West Virginia and Big 12 really don't mesh that well.
No, I think so, man. I don't think they're waiting on West Virginia. I just think they're waiting for the Big 12 to make their decision. Because let's be honest. Yes, the SEC is probably the most powerhouse conference in college football.
They are the powerhouse. Let's be honest. Highly overrated, but they are the powerhouse.
They are. No, I want to see, Robert. I do want to see LSU get their ass whooped.
That's not going to happen, Mike.
Yes, it is. Shut your mouth.
Robert LeBlanc, if you guys are not watching this on the YouTube channel, Mike is a huge Texas fan. I believe Robert is an LSU fan, right?
Yeah, my little brother is a huge...
So Texas and LSU play, was it week 2 or week 3 that they play at LSU, correct?
Week 2 in Death Valley.
Yeah, so...
Texas is going to storm in there. They're going to hook them, and we're going to go out there, and we're going to get that dub, and we're going to silence LSU in Death Valley.
Well, you can't silence Death Valley if there's no fans there.
I think there'll be fans. I think they're going to take the NFL approach, where you're going to have masks, and it's not going to be full capacity. It's going to be 25 to 50% capacity. That way, everybody can social distance.
Does that take away the home field advantage for LSU if you only have 50% fans in there?
No, I don't think so. Those LSU fans are rowdy. I mean, even if you have 50%, those LSU fans are rowdy. I'm not going to lie. Texas isn't just going to stroll into LSU and whoop their ass and then come.
Whoa! Time out. Take a step back. Put on your big boy pants and talk that shit.
No. LSU is a team now. It's not going to be easy for Texas.
Third best in the SEC, right?
Last best in the SEC. But I do think Texas is going to go in there. It's going to be a close game, and Texas scores a late touchdown. Ellinger drives them down the field to either score a late touchdown or put them in field goal range. They don't have Joe Burrow anymore. They don't have that experience at quarterback. And we're coming into the second game of the season. We're not going to have, college doesn't have an offseason just like the NFL. So that new quarterback is going to be getting used to the system, used to the speed of the game, because he came from high school, right? We all know when you transition from high school to college, speed of the game is different. When you transfer to college to the NFL, speed of the game is totally different. Especially at quarterback, when you have to start reading these defenses.
Yeah.
So Texas really didn't lose a whole lot on defense. Our defense is coming back. We only lost 3 starters on defense, so that's a big plus for Texas. We didn't lose a whole lot on offense either. I mean, we lost an offensive lineman, and we lost 2 of our best receivers. We lost Colin Johnson and we lost Devin Duvernay. That's going to hurt, but Texas does have some wide receivers that are coming up. It's not going to be an easy game by any means, but I think Texas does pull it out.
So let me ask you this question. You are a college football fan. You are a Big 12 fan. Robert, you are a SEC fan. Jameson being a Nebraska Husker fan, I'm assuming he is a Big 10 fan. So does this hurt the parity of college football if you're only going to play in conference games, because we aren't going to get these big marquee matchups. Like we aren't going to get Texas versus LSU. We aren't going to get USC versus Notre Dame. Like I believe Alabama has set a home away schedule for Ohio State for not this year but next year. Like
my question,
go ahead.
If they do it like this and they only play conference games, how are we going to determine a national champion?
It would have to be they would have to do the playoffs. I mean, there's
a complete playoff system, not just 4 people. You would have to redo everything, and it would have to be like the NFL.
It would probably be like the old school PCS days when they put an algorithm into the computer. Like, hey, these are our top 4 teams, right?
No, I think they do it like the NFL. You take the top we have 5 conferences, top 5.
Top 5, yeah, Power 5.
We have a power, so you add in one more conference, and then you do it like the NFL, and you get whoever wins the conference. I think when you go play for the conference, those 2 teams go into the playoffs and represent your conference.
So basically, like your conference championship is like a wild card.
Yeah, whoever wins the conference, those are your number 1, 2, 3, 4 seeds, and then everybody else is just, wild cards.
So here's the problem that I have with that, or the fundamentally flawed about that, is the fact that the college football playoff is it is sanctioned by the NCAA, but they don't make any money off of the college football playoff. So they make all the money off of the other, like the Cotton Bowl and the Alamo Bowl and stuff like that. Like that is where they make all of their money.
So you treat those bowls. I mean, you just put the bowl games as playoff games. That way, you're still getting money from those bowl games.
Yeah, the problem is at the bottom. At the end of the day, it is all about the old mighty dollar. The NCAA needs they want their old mighty dollar, even though the college game doesn't need them anymore. To be totally honest, we can make our own playoff system. But
me and my little brother have been talking about this for years, even before they started the playoffs where they have now.
Yeah.
The Alamo Bowl can be a playoff game, the Sun Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Bowl, the AutoZone Bowl. But the big bowls like the
Fiesta
Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, like those bowls can be either like your division rounds and then the conference round, and then one of them, let's just say, we'll just say the Rose Bowl, that's the Super Bowl, or the championship, the NCAA championship. So, I think it would work like that. I don't see another way around it.
I don't like the college football playoff, and the reason why is because you only have four teams. I mean, like last year, there could have been easily 6 teams that deserved to be in there. So I don't think you can name a true college championship until you extend it to 8 teams. 8. Mm-hmm. Like I don't want 16. I don't want 64. I want 8. Like I think 8 is the magic number year in and year out, and then 9 and 10 kind of separate themselves from the pack. Like those top 8 usually separate themselves.
I think that magic number is 12.
12.
That number is 12.
So you would have to have a bye somewhere in there.
Yeah, you would have a first round bye. I think I really think that magic number is 12, and then we really get to determine a national champion.
One of the biggest issues that I have is that's a big ass bug.
And that motherfucker almost flew in your face.
Right. Like one of the biggest issues that I have is JUCO football, Division III, Division II, NIAA all have a playoff system. I believe it's 16 teams, right?
Yeah.
They have less teams in those divisions. Why cannot the NCAA, the Division I college football, the mecca of all football in college, figure out a decent playoff system? It doesn't make sense to me.
Because they are so wrapped up in their rankings.
Well, they are so wrapped up in, like, what was it, 64 bowl games that they have or some shit
Yeah.
like that.
They're
Ridiculous.
so wrapped up in the top 25 rankings, and yeah, the shit ton of come on, man. Nobody really watches those bowls. Who watches the AutoZone Bowl?
I do when K-State goes.
When K-State only when the team goes.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, really, like everybody else though, like me,
Right.
I'm not watching that.
You might have a casual fan that called in sick to work. You know, it is December 20th is when, like, all those bowl games usually start. Like, oh, I'm going to call in sick. And they tune in 10 o'clock in the morning on ESPN, and the Aloha Bowl happened to be on. Are they passively looking for that game? No. But are they flipping through it and they see it? Okay, awesome. But, yeah, I mean, you are 100% right. There is no need for 60. I don't know the exact number. I think it's like 64 bowl games that they have, like, out there. But just make it a true. You said 12 was the magic.
Yeah, I think 12 is the magic number for a playoff system.
And,
with
like,
they just need to get rid of the NCAA.
Yeah.
And these top conference, whatever they're called, the people that sit at the top of the conferences. Yeah, the commissioners. They just need to be like, you know what? We're done with the NCAA.
Right.
We'll be commissioners of our conference, but we're going to vote one commissioner, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to a playoff system. I think they would make more money doing it that way.
And to be honest, I think they just need to totally do away with all the conferences in general. You know,
yes.
Do away with the Big 12 and like whatnot, and do what the NFL does or the NBA. You have the NFC East, West, whatever, and start dividing teams by actual regions.
Yes.
Clearly you'd have to have a lot more, because I think there's 132 teams in Division I football, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, you put 10 teams in each division, you're looking at 13 to 14 divisions. That way, each division winner gets a playoff spot, 2 wild cards, 16-team playoff.
There you go. And you know what? It doesn't, like, what pisses me off about college football is, you know, these top teams that are in the top 10 or top 20, or, yeah, let's go with the top 10. You know, Texas, let's say Texas beats LSU. Boom. Texas moves up probably in the top 10. I think they're ranked number 12 or 13.
They're pretty high.
So if they LSU, they move into the top 10. Now, let's say they go to K-State and they lose to K-State. That's it. That's their season.
They're probably going to drop out of the top 20 to 25 bet.
They're not playing for anything anymore. It gives them no motivation to play, to really, like, okay, next game, let's go get it. You know what I mean? Like, fuck it, we're out of the national championship.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play for the Big 12. Whoop-de-doo. Who really gives a shit about being conference champions? Everybody wants to be a national champion.
Right. I mean, coming from K-State, we pride ourselves on conference championships, not national championships.
Yeah, I mean, it gives teams like K-State an actual shot.
Right.
I mean, you know, if you lose 2 games during the season, okay, cool, we lost those 2 games. We can still we can still squeak into the playoffs. You know what I mean? I'm so done with college football the way it is. It pisses me off every time I talk about it.
And let me even take this a step further. There are 132 teams in Division I football. What if you split those up even further into 64 teams each, you know, like on each side? Just because you have teams in there like San Jose State don't really ever have a conversation of being in a playoff team, right? They're lucky to go 5 and 6, right? Yeah. Like year in and year out. Make it a Division I, Tier 1, Division Tier 2, and the top 3 teams from Division 2 go up. Top 3 teams go down each year.
I like where you were going with that. So, what does it do if you start really having a true playoff system? Now, when it comes to recruiting, everybody wants
make it into a draft.
No, I don't say make it into a draft. I don't agree with that. I like the recruiting aspect. But the way it is now, everybody wants to go to Alabama, LSU,
right.
Texas. Texas A&M. They want to go to these big schools. And that's where all the talent goes to. Instead of like want to go to K-State. Nobody wants to go to K-State unless that's their last option, right?
Well, it depends how much we pay them.
I'm not going to be in a conference championship if I go to K-State. I have no chance at winning a national championship.
Right.
Really no chance of like really being scouted. Not like if I went to Alabama or anything like that. And that's why all the top talent goes to, 10 teams. In the whole nation. You know what I mean? So if we have a playoff, then, you can start getting, like, what if, let's say TCU. TCU it squeaks into the playoffs and runs a table and wins a national championship. How would that do for recruiting for them?
They do very, 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 very well. How about this? On the flip side of the coin, make it kind of if a team doesn't make it into the playoffs, you get 5 extra scholarships for the next year, and then the team that wins the national championship has 5 less. Just to make some parity happening, right?
Another thing my little brother said on our YouTube channel, one thing is for sure, these players need to be making some of that money too. I agree with that 100%. You got teams like LSU, Alabama, Texas that make, Texas is probably one of the most profiting schools in college football.
I believe they are the most profiting.
I think so. I think they
have their own channel, like the Longhorn.
Yeah. I think last time I looked, it was like $1.5-2 billion a year that Texas makes. How can you not take a couple million and divide that amongst the players? That way they can get paid. I'm not saying pay these players millions of dollars or anything like that.
$20 an hour.
No, not $20 an hour, but like, hey, give them $1,000 a game.
Yeah, there you
go. $1,000 a game or $2,000 a game. These players are the reason why people come to watch the game.
The players are the reason why Nick Saban's making like $9 million a season.
Exactly. Yeah. It's and they have good recruiting and everything like that. So yeah, I agree. 100% players need to get paid, whether it be, $2,000, $3,000 a game.
Or even a percentage of how much the team makes. So
I don't think it should be a percentage. And I understand like they don't want to give that much money because, there's a shit ton of kids on the roster, right? There's way more than there.
At K-State, we had 130 back.
Yeah, so you give everybody on the team doesn't get paid. Your starters and your second string players, those are the people that get paid.
How about this? Performance-based pay.
Yeah, performance-based pay. I can agree with that.
So how we started that conversation here. The ACC has released, I forget how many games it was now. I believe it was a 11-game season going into the 2020 season starting September 12th, and they added Notre Dame into that all-conference schedule as well. So Notre Dame doesn't have to worry about, finding their own games and whatnot and allowing other conferences to play them. So this is positive thoughts, I think, for college football as a whole and for my high school team as well, because the rumor is around the Indiana area that schools are going to be shut down by Labor Day. So we're basically going to get into like week 3 of the season. They're going to talk about shutting us down. But we'll see what happens, guys. This is the Mike and Mike Man Hour, guys. Sunday through Thursday, 10 p.m. East Coast time, right here on the rtsportsnetwork.com station, as well as our Facebook page. Mike, have a good night, my man.
Deuces. Cheers, fellas.
Get high, rapper. The Man Hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. It be Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the Man Hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten up the screws, yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down.